He had been living on the fringes of the frontier world Arathon 5, a half-terraformed planet dotted with alien ruins and endless forests of metallic bark trees. His job wasn't glamorous. Scavenging scraps, repairing abandoned mining rigs, trading small finds for food back at the outpost. It was the kind of life reserved for those with nowhere else to go, the forgotten men and women drifting in the galaxy's shadow. And then he met her. The alien girl appeared one evening as he was setting up camp near the ruins. She was young, barely taller than his chest, with pale lavender skin that shimmered faintly when the firelight hit it. Her eyes were enormous, almost feline, glinting with an emerald hue. She spoke broken galactic common, enough to ask for water, food, and shelter. Ethan, surprised but not heartless, shared what little he had. In the days that followed, she stayed with him. She never gave her full name, only the sound Lyra. She was curious about everything, his tools, his stories, even the strange habit humans had us singing under their breath while working. Ethan found her presence comforting, though puzzling. What was an alien girl, seemingly alone and vulnerable, doing in this forsaken sector? He would soon find out. The first shock. It was 2 weeks into their uneasy companionship when a bizarre truth revealed itself. Lyra had excused herself behind the dense cluster of mirror bark trees. Ethan barely noticed. Everyone needed privacy, especially when sharing a small camp. But then he heard a sound, like glass clinking against stone. Startled, he peeked around the corner, worried she might have stumbled onto debris. What he saw froze him. Lyra crouched low, her body trembling slightly, and beneath her, glitter. Not waste, not something foul. Instead, jewels. Perfect, faceted gems spilled onto ground, glowing faintly in the twilight. Emeralds, rubies, opalescent stones that seemed alive with inner light. Ethan gasped before he could stop himself. Lyra's head snapped up, ears flattening in embarrassment. Or was it fear? She covered the gems with both hands, her cheeks flushing a deeper violet. You just... Ethan stammered. Those are jewels. Lyra hissed softly, shaking her head. Not tell, she whispered. No one must know. Ethan stepped back, utterly stunned. His brain scrambled between disbelief and greed. These stones were priceless. Back on the core worlds, even one of them could buy him a house, a ship, a new life. And she produced them as casually as a human would relieve themselves. The weight of secrets. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. His mind spun. Why hide it? How is this even possible? What would people do if they found out? Lyra avoided his gaze, curling up by the fire with her knees tucked to her chest. She seemed vulnerable, almost afraid he would cast her aside now that he knew. Finally, Ethan broke the silence. Why didn't you tell me? Her voice was low, trembling. Because humans greedy, aliens greedy. All take, all cage. He swallowed hard. She wasn't wrong. He'd seen enough of the galaxy to know that if word got out, hunters, corporations, governments, everyone would come for her. She wouldn't be a person anymore. She'd be a resource, mined like a planet, dissected until nothing remained. I won't tell anyone, Ethan said finally, but I need to understand. Why jewels? Lyra's eyes glistened with firelight. My people, old race. We eat crystal fruits, mineral roots. Body makes stones. Once was sacred. Stones gift the tribe. But outsiders come. Kill. Take. My people gone. I run. The confession hit Ethan like a punch. She wasn't just strange. She was the last of her kind. Greed knocks on the door. For several days, Ethan wrestled with his conscience. Every time Lyra excused herself and returned with a sheepish look, he pretended not to notice the glitter she buried beneath the soil. He tried to act normal, to protect her secret. But fate wasn't kind. A band of scavengers, rough men armed with plasma rifles and cybernetic implants, stumbled into their camp. They spotted Lyra instantly, curiosity flashing in their eyes. One of them, a scar-faced brute named Harrow, laughed. Well, didn't know you were keeping pets, Ethan. She's not. Ethan began, but Lyra shrank behind him, ears flat. The scavengers lingered, demanding food, supplies, anything of value. Ethan handed over spare rations, trying to avoid conflict. But then one of them noticed a faint shimmer of dirt where Lyra had recently hidden her secret. A half-buried gem peeked out. What's this? Harrow crouched, brushing the soil away. The ruby gleamed in his palm. His grin widened. Well, looks like your little friend's worth more than we thought. Lyra's eyes went wide with terror. Ethan's stomach dropped. The worst had happened. Flight into the wilds. That night turned into chaos. Ethan fought harder than he ever had. He used his tools as weapons, his fists, anything to drive the scavengers back. He and Lyra fled into the alien wilderness, chased by plasma fire and shouted threats. For days, they ran. Through metallic forests that chimed in the wind, across rivers that shimmered with bioluminescent fish, over ruins glowing with forgotten energy. Ethan's body ached, his lungs burned, but he refused to stop. Lyra, though physically weaker, endured with quiet resilience. Sometimes, when she saw him faltering, she pressed a jewel into his hand. For trade, she said simply. Ethan wanted to throw it away, screamed that he didn't care, but survival demanded otherwise. A bond forged. In the struggle, something shifted between them. Ethan stopped seeing the jewels as treasure. He saw them as pieces of her, tears solidified into beauty, fragment of a lost culture carried in her body. Protecting her became more than survival. It became purpose. One night, by the glowing ruins, he asked, "Why trust me? After everything your people suffered?" Lyra tilted her head, eyes shining. "Because you look at me. Not stones. Not cage. Just me." The simplicity of it broke something inside him. For the first time in years, Ethan felt more than the numb ache of survival. He felt hope. The final standoff. The scavengers eventually cornered them in the ruins of an ancient alien citadel. Plasma fire scorched the walls, forcing them deeper into the labyrinth of stone and crystal. Ethan's heart pounded. There was no escape left. Harrow's voice echoed through the halls. "Give us the girl, Ethan. We'll let you live. Think about it. You're throwing away a fortune." Ethan clenched his jaw. He glanced at Lyra, trembling but resolute. He thought of all the times he dreamed of wealth, of leaving his wretched life behind. And then he thought of her words. Not stones. Not cage. Just me. He made his choice. As Harrow's men burst into the chamber, Ethan triggered the old mining charges he'd planted earlier. The ruins shuddered, walls collapsing in thunderous cascades. Dust choked the air. "Run!" he shouted, grabbing Lyra's hand. Together they darted through the collapsing corridors, barely escaping as the scavengers were buried beneath tons of alien stone. A new beginning. They stumbled out into the dawn, exhausted, bloodied, alive. Behind them, the citadel lay in ruins, entombing both treasure and greed. Lyra sank to her knees, tears streaking her cheeks. Why save me? You could be rich." Ethan knelt beside her, gently brushing the dirt from her face. "Because you're worth more than all the gems in the galaxy." For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then Lyra smiled, a rare, fragile smile that glowed brighter than any jewel. From that day, Ethan's life was never the same. He no longer drifted aimlessly in the galaxy's shadows. He had purpose. He had someone to protect. Someone who reminded him that even in a universe ruled by greed and power, compassion could still shine like a jewel. And though she carried a secret that could topple empires, to him she was not a resource, not a fortune. She was simply Lyra, the girl who turned the filth of survival into something priceless.